Oh shit, boys! We back into fucking Disney Extreme Skate Adventure on GBA. Now, as we saw last time, we've seen throughout this game that's been kind of shit just because, it's just been kind of shit. There's not been anything really worth getting angry over outside of how broken the Lion King bit was. For this game, it's just been like pretty easy, mediocre, forgettable, who gives a shit. Yeah, it's super fucking easy when it comes to, the Lion King bit, but, it's not that bad. The Toy Story bit was fine. I'm sure the fucking Tarzan bit would just be fine as well. And then I played the fucking Tarzan shit! Oh god! If Lion King is the easiest and most insulting part to a child's intelligence ever, then this one's the exact opposite in the other extreme spectacle. Because whereas you do tricks fast, and you can do it very frequently in Lion King, and it's easy to get score, in Tarzan you are slow, you take forever to do shit, you cannot make really good combos, really, and it's just really fucking difficult to really get a good combo going. Look at that. That was just a fucking flip trick. And that took longer than a kickflip. These tricks take longer than both Lion King and Toy Story's tricks. They take forever. The only time that I can think they don't take that long on is the special tricks. Which, as we'll see, isn't too much of an improvement, honestly. Because not even Tarzan can get away from having really long fucking special tricks. In fact, I think they might be longer than Toy Story's. Which is, you shouldn't. You just shouldn't. Anyway, every single one of these has been, at the very least, had a unique goal, too. Lion King had putting some motherfuckers away, and Toy Story had the whole racing thing. There's a reason I say that Toy Story is the most unique in all of these when it came to its goals. Because this one uses the Lion King's move these fuckers here sort of goal. Though you're not hurting some fucking animals around. No. You'll see what you're actually hurting this time. But still, it's pretty fucking bad. And it only gets worse as we keep going. But yeah, this is not that easy to make a good fucking, load of fucking goals on them. Because trying to make a good score in this is tough when your flips take for fucking ever to pull off. And yeah, that was our special. You might think, oh, we could easily abuse that. No, we can't. Because you have to wait for the fucker to, get out of his grab, finish the animation completely before you can move on. And look, that was a normal fucking manual too. Like, sure, it's not as long as the Toy Story Special manual, but come on. Also, yes, our special item for this fucking bullshit is a spear, a golden spear, with Jane as our skate letters. I understand Jane being the skate letters. I don't quite understand the spear. I guess because it's like jungle, so spear, jungle, good enough. But yeah, Tarzan playing for his levels, they were the worst. They were the absolute worst to go through. At the very least, like, Lion King was stupid easy, but at least I could have fun abusing the fucking specials. And I mean, the goals weren't completely terrible. And the animation with the fucking graphics and shit were really fucking good for a GBA game too. Toy Story and Tarzan are just like, they exist, that's about it. While the fucking animation and how smooth it is of fucking Lion King with every move is just beautiful. And Toy Story had the most unique goals, had the best soundtrack, I'm gonna say right now. It also had more skaters, and it was just a lot more fun overall. Tarzan just sucks. I mean, yeah, that could kind of fit with the movies, considering, you know, after the first movie, everything about Tarzan was just shit, but, and yes, I do think Tarzan and Jane was a shit movie. But, this, this, I can't even use fucking, like, Tarzan and just say, you know, oh, it's not the fucking movie on this, because, yeah, like, Tarzan, the first movie wasn't that great, but it was far fucking better than this shit. It deserves far better. And it kinda did. There was a PS1 game that was okay. At least it wasn't this. But yeah, this is once again showing me that the fucking console game, you know, I talked a lot of shit about that. At least it's not this. And the worst part, the absolute worst fucking part, it's just the fact there's less in this. That's the worst part to me. That there is less, much less game in the GBA game than there is in the fucking console game. And you know, I thought that was kind of bullshit because I thought there was less content in that game compared to fucking Pro Skater 4. There was less to really enjoy and go through. But no. But here we are. I mean, the GBA game for Pro Skater 4, you know, that had its problems, sure. But at least it wasn't this bad. At the very least, there was something to the GBA version of Pro Skater 4 that made it very enjoyable. I still stand by my understanding that Pro Skater 4 GBA is, quite honestly, the best GBA skateboarding game by far. I don't think there has been another skateboarding game on the Game Boy Advance that was quite as good or better than Pro Skater 4. Because as soon as Pro Skater 4 GBA happened, every other fucking game tried to, like, do what it did and add more to it. But in the process, just broke the fuck out of everything. And we saw it with Fug GBA. That was even more than the fucking Pro Skater 4 shit, but it was broken. It was completely fucking destroyed. Nothing about it could be redeemable. And what features they added were not only also completely broken, but useless. But they force it down you. by adding this other gimmick to it that just sucks. And not only that, they also add the fucking health thing to it, and it's just... it's not needed. It really isn't needed. It's a terrible fucking game. And, unfortunately, this came before it. And not even this is free from that shit. Also, that is the ugliest fucking Tarzan picture I have seen. Did you see that fucking picture? When you're looking for the dialogue of all the characters and shit. Did you see the fucking Tarzan picture there? Like, fucking hell. Not even the Hunchback of Notre Dame was that fucking ugly. My god. But yeah, this is the game. This is everything you're getting right now. And this is the human camp, by the way. In case you're wondering, we will not be seeing a little secret area that's very nice where you can grind down the vines and shit. We won't be seeing any of that because, you know, that's the most iconic bit of the movie, Tarzan. You know, Tarzan, you know, scanning about on all the fucking logs and shit. Going for the entire vast jungle. You know, none of that. Fuck that. Let's just instead have the human camp, and that's it. Fuck the iconic area of the movie. Just this will do. This is fine. And yeah, escorting these little fat fuckers is about as easy as you'd think. And yeah, this is just the same fucking goal as the one from The Lion King. Which means it's not a unique goal. And yeah, this is just shit. There is this area though. There's a nice little bit of ramp here that only gets used for collectible and is never used for a goal ever. It's a lot of area with this game where it's just like it's there, but there's no reason for you to ever have it. Lion King had that too with the fucking Pride Rock, where like the first run, yeah, you go through it, but after that, it's like, why bother? Why give a shit about it at all? But yeah, here we are. Just going through the human camp. Having a whole lot of fun. Oh, what, were you expecting, like, something interesting? Something fun? Something cool? Were you expecting something worth a fuck with this shit? No. Why the fuck would you be expecting me to say anything worth a fuck? Like, hey, look at all this fire, it's just hovering around and just not burning anything. Jesus Christ, that artwork. I do not like the Tarzan bit of this game. Then again, I didn't like the Tarzan bit of the console game either. There's just something about how Tarzan has been handled ever since the first movie that it's honestly fucking insulting. Because yeah, Tarzan wasn't exactly that phenomenal, and you know, it wasn't exactly that interesting either. It was just mostly like soap opera sort of comedy bullshit. But, like, it was a decent fucking movie. It had a great fucking song, and it had some great fucking animation. But it's like after the first movie, they just butchered the entire fucking thing. Like, on everything, they butchered it. They butchered the games. They butchered the sequels. There was a TV show that was butchered too. There was just a lot of shit with Tarzan that, after the first movie, just ruined any sort of redeemability that this shit could have. The only thing that people seem to stuck with outside the first movie was Tarzan and Jane. And I'm honestly being serious here. Tarzan and Jane was not a good movie, okay? Say what you will about the character development between Jane and Tarzan and Jane in general of that fucking movie. Because the first movie was all about Tarzan, while this one was a bit more about Jane for the most part. And I mean, sure, I'll give you that. There was a lot of nice little scenes and such, a lot of interesting stuff with the story of Tarzan with Tarzan and Jane, as well as their relationship together. But it just wasn't that good a movie in the plot, or in the pacing, or in the comedy, or really in much of the character development for everybody. It just wasn't that good a fucking movie, nor was it really memorable either. So, yeah, it's pretty terrible when you really think about it. When you really look at that fucking movie, it's just not that good. Compared to the first Tarzan, Tarzan and Jane just sucked. Honestly, it just sucked. And there was nothing to really fix it, because they were butchering the fuck out of it anyway with all the games, the TV show, and other movies, Tarzan and such, that really, there was no way you could really save it anyway. I think that's the most damning thing about this whole entire situation. The fact that Disney don't know how to really handle some of their big successes. Like, at all. Toy Story, you know, that's an exception because they handle it fairly well with Toy Story 2 and 3. Those were great movies, but it took a while to get those kinds of movies. And the shorts that came in between weren't that great, and people just want Toy Story to just end with Toy Story 3. But no, they're gonna continue with Toy Story 4, and it's just like, it's already going downhill, really. And then you got The Lion King, which, first movie, great. Second movie, Third movie, no. And then there's the show, like, you know, the Timon and Pumbaa show, which I had some laughs on that show, but it was ultimately fairly cheap and not that great memorable. And then there's the new one, The Lion's God, or whatever the fuck it's called, and they've already butchered Lion King at this point. And then you got Aladdin, which is by far, I think, the greatest example of an exemption besides Toy Story. Because only with the 3 movies, if you just count them, like, oh, and the Buzz Lightyear show, that show is actually pretty decent too. If you actually just counted all of that shit, then yeah, like, Toy Story was the exact example of Disney doing a series right, doing a franchise right, some justice to it. However, they have recently fucked it up. Pretty badly, too. However, Aladdin has not gotten that treatment, really, when you really get down to it. Like, outside the second movie, which does suck, the first movie, the third movie, and the TV show are actually fucking really good. I'm being serious. The first movie, everyone loves, okay? There's no debating it. It's up there. It's a fucking classic of a movie. The third movie is underrated. Sure, the second movie is crap, but the third movie made up for it, and really does give a solid sequel for the franchise. It's really fucking good, and it did bring back a lot of the voice actors, including Genie. And I mean, yeah, the voice of Homer Simpson, you know, he tried with Genie in the second movie, but honestly, Dan, I'm sorry, but you cannot beat Robin Williams. You can't beat him when it comes to Genie. I'm sorry. It's not really that possible. You tried though. And I know you tried your damnedest with it. And I do applaud you, because you do have some moments where you do work fairly well. And, you know, even in other stuff where you took over instead of Robin, you did fairly well. But Williams did it better. Williams still is a better Genie. And they brought Robin Williams back with the third movie. And the third movie ends Aladdin. Like, outright, the third movie is the last of Aladdin. That's where the story ended. And that's what I think Toy Story should have done. They shouldn't be doing Toy Story 4. They shouldn't really be continuing these fucking shorts, honestly. They should have just done the third movie, had that ending, and that's it. That's Toy Story. The end. No more. They should have done what they did with Aladdin. But no, they're still doing Toy Story, and it's going downhill. Like, honestly, it is. But yeah, like, the TV show, even though the second movie sucked, the TV show was great. Alright? If you want a good Disney movie-based TV show from the Disney Channel, Aladdin is the best example. Alright? It is honestly the best example. It is just a solid fucking show for the most part. And any fan of Aladdin will love it. I'm not joking. It is that good. I really did enjoy that show. And it honestly has a great amount of moments. And yeah, it is better than the second movie. So they did a lot of good just for Aladdin, honestly. But yeah, the worst case scenario was Tarzan, where they just fucked it all up after the first movie. It was murdered after the first movie, really. Again, Tarzan and Jane, yeah, it has its times, it has its moments. There can be, like, a scene or two where, you know, yeah, it's decent, but overall the movie sucked. And everything after that, all the games, all the spin-offs, all the fucking future sequels, everything, it all sucked. It all fucking sucked. Also, this goal is a complete entire fucking repeat of a fucking goal we already did in a previous run of this level. It's the exact same one. Wow. You see what I mean? Like, that hasn't even happened before with any of these. Every single goal, yeah, they've been repeating the same sort of concept, but at least it's not the exact same. They're all in different positions at the very least. They're all in different numbers and shit. Not that goal. That goal was repeated from run 2. Jesus. Did they even fucking care? Yeah, this is a sad case, honestly. And that's honestly the worst thing about the old stuff back then. That when it came to the movies and everything, when it came to continuing from a successful movie like Tarzan or Toy Story and such, it's usually a hit or miss situation. Sometimes you'll get a hit like Toy Story or fucking Aladdin, except for the second movie. But usually you get something like fucking Tarzan. It's not great. It's not a good feeling. And recently I am seeing that, you know, there's gonna be a Wreck-It Ralph 2. I'm praying for that to be good. Because so far, I think the best solution for that is the Emoji Movie done right. And I mean, Emoji Movie outright sucked. The concept of it, everything just sucked. But when I saw the trailer, I thought, this might be okay. As someone who's been on the internet for over 10 years, I think this might work out fine. But I have to see the movie in order to fully convey if it's gonna be fine. I can't just fully base it on that trailer. Despite how much of a great fucking meme seeing the bunny rabbit explode and that girl lose her shit over it was, okay? That was a fucking brilliant scene, honestly. It made me laugh. But I can't fully just base it solely on something like that. I need to see the movie. And that's what worries me. Because what if the rest of the movie actually sucks? Because when it comes to sequels, oh god. Sequels, man. They are not a great territory when it comes to anything. It's a hit and miss territory, man. Doesn't matter how good you are at following shit up. It's hit or miss, and it is a fucking deadly, scary territory for anyone. But yeah, Tarzan just got the worst outcome out of everything. But there were better movies that were out while Tarzan was out too. Like for instance, Aladdin. I wouldn't have minded skating around with Aladdin, or even Peter Pan. You know, there were a lot of great locations and possibly decent skaters of Peter Pan. And also, that segues into something that I found out about this game. There's apparently a way to use a cheat code to bring in Peter Pan as a playable character. That brings in two questions. One, why wasn't Peter Pan in this instead of Tarzan? Or any of the classic Disney characters, really? And, two, why Peter Pan exactly? Could they not do any of the others? Snow White? Could they not do the fucking Sword of Stone or whatever? There's a lot that could have been done instead of Tarzan. But again, Tarzan at the time I'm pretty sure was fairly new, so they were trying to really capitalize on trying to sell it. By the way, this boss fight sucks. Back to the game. Here's Clayton. He just stands there. Great sprite work, by the way. But, the biggest problem isn't that. It's just figuring out what to do, and figuring out how to do it. You have to deal with these cages. They are currently just moving around. You have to actually find them first, and also deal with them. But, the problem is, at first, the instructions they give you don't make much sense. They just tell you to just get rid of the cages, and tell you they look at right down the fucking bottom. So there's the cages right there. So you're thinking, oh, I just have to fuck those cages. No. It picks out cages, and then you deal with that shit. But then while you're dealing with that, you also got to avoid all these fucking barrels that randomly fall in different random positions, which they can fall right on your fucking head and completely screw you over on. And as you take care of the cages, which you have to take care of 5 of them, they keep going faster. The speed of these claws just keep going faster. To a point where you don't have that much time to actually take care of the last cage. You have to take care of it almost immediately, or else it's game over. And you can't just like keep flipping at this shit too. The only way you can take care of these cages is to hit them by 2 jumps. The first jump makes it shake, and the second jump just makes it drop completely. So, this is honestly the hardest boss in the entire fucking game. Which is the most surprising thing, because when you look at the console version of this boss fight when it came to the cages, it was a joke of a boss fight, really. So, seeing this, and how hard this is, shocked the fuck out of me. But the absolute worst part is the barrels. You can't tell where they're gonna be, where they're gonna land, and you can even get hit and bail on their debris when they've already fallen. But there you go. Close up the door, and that's it. Tarzan boss defeated. Shit boss, honestly. But a really fucking hard one, too. And that's it. That is the main game. We're not done yet, though. We still have one more thing to go through, and that's games. So, sure, we have versus as well, but that's just like multiplayer. Games is interesting, though. It's a time challenge, a trick challenge, and a turbo challenge. And you have to basically, you know, go through all the levels you've already gone through in these challenges. What will they give us? What's in store of that shit? We'll find out next time on the final part of Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure on GBA. See you then.